Eric Backer. Thanks for coming back. I'm the naturopath who talks about Candida, SIBO, gut problems, all kinds of stuff, parasites. That's the sort of work I do. I got a question here from a guy called Jake Taylor. This is an old question, it's about a year old. So, what do you say about people who believe fat is the cause, or at least one of the causes of Candida? Because the fat coats the cells of the muscles, causing insulin resistance and unable sugar to get out of the blood, and so Candida is sent to eat in the excess blood sugar as a life-saving mechanism. I wonder where all these fantasies and fairy tales are coming from. There's interesting stuff. All these weird hypotheses that you keep seeing. I myself have suffered from Candida and was on a low-carb, high-fat diet. Excuse me, have fasted with bone broth several times, taken 3 different antimicrobials which all didn't work. The antimicrobials each gave me temporary relief, but the symptoms ultimately returned after eating fruit, sugary foods, even in moderate amounts. After some research, I decided to go on a low-fat and high-carb vegan diet, and within a few days gradually introduced high amounts of fruit and was free of the usual symptoms of brain fog, fatigue and gas I would normally get from them. It's been weeks since then eating large amounts of fruit, and those symptoms haven't returned. Personally, I'm theorizing that Candida can be caused by both sugar and fat, but in their fibrous form. I, for example, had a lot of coconut oil, olive oil, and fatty meats in virtually all meals in accordance to following the GAPS diet. I'm starting to see oil as the fat equivalent of table sugar, and both in their fibrous form seem to have a devastating effect on blood sugar and give rise to Candida. What's your opinion on this? Got a reply from another guy then, not long, actually today. It would be great to find out your reviews on the matter since Eric Backer doesn't respond. He seems like he means well, however, it's hard to believe in anyone that sells the products. Whole food, plant-based diet that doesn't include whole sugar, oil and salt, reverse diabetes in the documentary Simply Raw. One would think that it would heal someone with Candida. Fighting or crushing Candida sounds like one struggling with it and forcing health instead of nurturing the body. Crushing Candida symptoms are not the root cause in itself. Well, Candida Crusher was a name that got basically put together by an American guy, not me, but crushing Candida is a cool name. And we don't crush people, we don't crush bank accounts, we crush Candida, okay? And we can do it easily and also inexpensively. Now, coming back to Jake, I just get a feeling in your question here, Jake, that everything seems to be extreme with you, like extreme diets, and this really concerns me. You've got a low-carb, high-fat diet with bone broth, and then later on you're on a high-carb vegan diet with low-fat, and then eating large amounts of fruit. Is it any wonder you get problems? Anyone who eats large amounts of any kind of foods and it flips from one diet to another is going to get a lot of gut problems, there's no doubt about it. Candida does not thrive on fat, okay? It does not thrive only on sugar. Candida will eat anything that it can eat. It's like a scavenger, like a vulture. Okay, it can convert different types of food remnants into food quite easily for itself. It can morph into different shapes and forms. Okay, it's got different nutritional requirements at different stages of its cycle. So I've read so many studies and hypotheses on Candida, ranging from the sublime to the, Martian theory that aliens planted it in people here that got implants in their gut and their brain. And man, I could make a whole Stanley Kubrick science fiction thriller out of all the crap that I've heard from people. So extreme diets or crazy diets often precipitate lots of symptoms in people and create lots of issues in people. Jake, why don't you just eat a basic diet, mate, instead of this extreme sort of high-carb vegan kind of thing? And I just don't understand it, like I had lots of coconut oil, olive oil and fatty meals in virtually all meals in accordance with the GAPS diet. Well, I'd feel like crap if I ate like that. I don't have lots and lots of oils and coconut oil in my diet at all. I'm no extreme person in my diet. I just eat fish, chicken, eggs, lots of fresh vegetables, reasonable amount of fruits in my diet, brown rice, quinoa, and that's my diet, basic, Nothing complicated or no rocket science regarding the diet. So my opinion on it is you don't need to go down this pathway. And Crow Sayan, who mentions here that it's hard to believe anyone that sells products. Well, I don't really care what people bloody buy, mate. I mean, you could buy sawdust and take it for all. You don't have to look at my products. My products were created for my clinic. They were created for my patients. They were created for people who got sick and tired of spending thousands of dollars and getting nowhere with their outcomes. That's why Candida was created. It was not created as a marketing gimmick to make lots of money. If that was the case, why didn't I design 500 weight loss products or 50 erectile dysfunction products or things like that? It's just not me. The Candida range is small, it's brief, and it's powerful, and it works. It does its job. So I couldn't care what people buy, to be honest. I never really push or hard drive these products on this channel. There's 1,400 videos on this channel, and 1,400 of those videos. It's a lot of video content, and it's not designed to drive sales or to push people into buying any kind of product at all. There are many reputable brands out there. So there you have it. I just don't see these sort of extreme diet measures really giving any kind of an outcome. I don't believe that fat is consumed by Candida as a food source any more than a lot of other theories I've heard on this particular area. I've got many patients who do eat a lot of fat in their diet, have got no Candida at all. And I've seen no connection with people with yeast infection that when they increase their fat content that the Candida or blood sugar gets worse. I don't see it. Blood sugar regulation is tightly controlled, but it can vary very much from person to person depending on genetics, the state of their pancreas, and various other factors like the cortisol production, okay? Stress and the adrenals really smashes a person's ability to regulate blood sugar properly. They get a lot of low blood sugar. Hypoglycemia is very common in stressed people. Yet there's no talk about stress or lifestyle when it comes to blood sugar, but it's a key thing, okay? So you say here again, personally, I'm theorizing that Candida can be caused by both sugar and fat. And you're correct. It can be caused by a whole lot of different things. So my opinion is to go the middle path. Don't do any extremes in your lifestyle or your diet. Stick with healthy, basic, organic foods. Hopefully they haven't been sprayed with glyphosate. And you should be good to go, okay? And don't stress too much about all this stuff that you read, because most of it's a load of crap. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the question, Jake.